Hi, I'm Chris Byrd with the Bird's Eye View, coming to you after the fight with Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley, the rematch. Great matchup, highly anticipated. I was waiting for this matchup because of the first fight, of course, where, everybody thought Pac won the first fight. Bradley trying to prove something, having a couple fights after that first fight, looking impressive, and in a hard fight, one of them. And then coming into this fight, I'm thinking, okay, Bradley's a lot better. Really, learned a lot from that first fight, knowing that he got coming to this fight and be the type of boxer to try to win impressively. I mean, very impressive. Not only just like a knockout, but if he can go 12 rounds impressively winning, using boxing skills, combinations, doing those type of things. That's what I thought coming to the fight that would be the game plan. Then I hear at the weigh-in, the coach actually say that, okay, Bradley, if he's not doing things after 3 or 4 rounds, and the fight not going a certain way, we're going for a knockout. I'm like, a knockout? That's not Timothy Bradley like strong suit. Timothy Bradley is a thinker. He can think, he can outbox you, he can outwork you, he can outmuscle you also, physically. He get there and grind, but not knock out, not go for it like that. So watching the first couple of rounds, I'm thinking, right when it comes out, the first couple of rounds, Timothy Bradley is like a kind of like a thorn a little bit in Manny Pacquiao's, flesh when it comes to just pure boxing ability. He can sit there with Manny and box with him and have Manny do certain things. He can counter it, touch him with a jab, can hit him with a, counter right hands. He can get away with that stuff. And it seemed like it was working like the first round. But it seemed like as you go second, third, possibly fourth round, he's in there trying to trade, actually going for the knockout. And in my opinion, he kind of like shot his wad a little bit. And it kind of threw him off his game plan. Meaning Timothy Bradley, his game plan of just being that pure boxer and try to match Manny punch for punch and be a counter puncher and try to win rounds like that instead of going for a knockout. And it kind of threw him off a little bit to where Manny Pacquiao got into a major groove where it was going back and forth, and now all of a sudden Manny is dominating each round with combinations. He putting combinations on him, stepping in, jumping in, throwing them, getting out, turning him, doing what he does best. And really, Timothy Bradley allowed him to do what he does best. Instead of making Manny think about every little shot he throw, now Manny just throwing them. He don't have to think anymore. And sometimes Manny come in, when you see him, he kind of exposed. He'd jump straight in like he did with Juan Manuel Marquez and get caught with that counter right hand that you can't see when you jump straight in. But Manny getting away with it because Timothy is now just fighting. He's out there just swinging. I mean, I give Tim Bradley much props. I mean, it's much love. He can flat out fight. He can. He know how to win. He just know how to fight, and he do it well. But in this fight, I think he would have had a better chance if he would just slow the fight down and we would have boxed back and forth. It would have been make Manny think a little bit more, have him counter punch Manny every time he try to throw something, and pick him apart to make it that kind of fight. I mean, as the fight went on, Manny got into a better groove. Throwing combination, letting them hands go. I mean, Roy broke it down. He threw a 10-punch combination one time. And maybe 8 of them landed, maybe 7. But 7 landed out of 10 punches. I mean, it was great. Manny is a tremendous fighter. I mean, just tremendous. He got movement. He throw combinations. He still got pop on his punches. But one thing about it, he got rounds in him. I mean, Manny's like 35, going 12 rounds, and to go 12 rounds in a match throwing punches and thinking and moving, it takes a lot of energy. And he's still doing it really well. So props to Manny Pacquiao. I mean, he put it together. And I know he wanted to knock out, but I give him credit for not thinking about that knockout. I mean, that's solely what everybody wanted him to have since he haven't had knockouts in previous fights. He ain't thinking about that. It's about the W. It's about the W. Being smart. Get to that next fight and win cleanly. Everybody remember this. He won cleanly. 12 rounds. Still in that major mix of being one of the top fighters in the world with a great game plan, knowing that, hey, I can go 12 rounds, I can beat you up, I can take you out, I can do whatever. So it was a great win for him. Props to Tim Bradley also, hanging there 12 rounds. He fought better in this fight, as far as, competing, trying to compete with Manny, and having more confidence to do it than he did in the first fight. Because I think the first fight was his first big rodeo he went to, so it was nerves, and I don't think he was 100%, completely into the fight. I think it just overwhelming for him. But this one, he seemed like, okay, I'm gonna prove to everybody I can sit there and fight with him and do whatever. And I think it backfired on him, but he still was comfortable. Went 12 rounds, just got outpointed. And both of them are great fighters. And, they both move on to even, another big fight again. They're at the upper echelon of boxing, and more props to both of them. But great win for Manny Pacquiao. He proved at this time that he won cleanly, and everybody would agree with that. And you got the bird's eye view. See you next time.